Welcome to Castle Arcade.
We're back. Since I'm always the third wheel of this group, because Robert and Dylan they're known. I feel like I have to introduce myself every time.
Establish yourself, boy.
So I'm the man that worships the ground the Hobgoblin walks on. Russell. Oh shit!
Every time you're on, every video that you're ever in.
Well, it makes it funnier if you have to beat me. Makes me sound like saying something naughty. Like,
That's fine.
like.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be talking about, what, comics today?
We're gonna
Starting
be
our new comic section.
Yeah. So, I want to start doing comic-related content, and but we don't really have any new comics to talk about right now. So, I thought that we would kind of kick this little part of the channel off with us just talking about our favorite comic book characters, storylines, titles, anything. Anything.
Comic books.
Comics.
Comic books.
Got your comics here.
You're implying that Robert can read.
Yeah, stop that.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a PC program, bro.
There ain't no PC in PC.
So, what do you want to talk about? Characters, or?
Yeah, I want to start. I don't want to start because I'm obvious. I want Robert to go first.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, okay, so the format we'll take is, give us your favorite hero and villain from the two major comic companies.
Oh.
And why?
Oh, man. DC's an easy one, but Marvel, there's so many good ones.
Take your time.
But I feel like I'm going to end up going generic and say Spider-Man.
Who's Spider-Man?
He's this little-known, underrated guy who he would like to be in the Avengers.
Yeah.
He would like to be in the Avengers, but let's not let him in the Avengers.
Oh, okay.
But he has been an Avenger.
Yeah, he actually has been. I want to go with Spider-Man because of the recent Spider-Man stuff they've been doing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Renew Your Vows storyline has been amazing. I still need to finish it, but from what I've read, it was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
You're actually talking about the recent movies, aren't you? That's what you liked.
Oh yeah, I only watch. Full disclosure, I've never read a comic book in my life. All my comic book knowledge comes from the movies, so I believe I know everything I need to know.
So would you go with Spider-Man?
Until I think of a better answer, yeah, I'll go with Spider-Man. Just because of recent events. There's probably another one.
Yeah. Oh, now you're villain.
Villain? Can I say Monster Rock?
No.
I only get all my knowledge from video games.
You can say Carnage or Doc Ock, but you cannot say the fusion of the two.
Carnage was a very good villain.
Some might even say he was the Marvel equivalent to the Joker.
Yeah, I think I might end up going with Carnage. To me personally, I think it's lame going with two Spider-Man characters for like, oh, your favorite. No, you're just a Spider-Man fanboy. But
okay.
nah.
Hey, if that's what you like, then that's what you like. So
Spider-Man is like if it wasn't for Spider-Man, Robert and I would not be friends.
That's actually true. It wasn't like the very first thing. One of us, I don't remember who it was. One of us, like the very first thing we said to each other was, "Hey, do you like Spider-Man?"
Yeah, I think so.
That is the earliest memory I have with you.
I can remember. Okay, so Robert, I guess you got transferred into my class.
Yeah, if you want to hear that story, it's not nerdy or anything, but there is a reason I was transferred into that class.
Let's hear it.
It's a pretty lame story. It was just the teacher was not good. And I stick to that still. I'm not going to say any names, but you...
That teacher is watching it right now.
Yeah.
That son of a gun, he's backslashing me.
If you're a teacher and you're watching this, if you're a second grade teacher and watching this, if a kid doesn't finish homework, don't hold them out of recess for 2 weeks.
Well, Robert, did you ever think of doing your homework?
I did that same dumb one single-sided worksheet for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I did it. Can I go out to play now? And she's like, no. And it happened every day. I have no idea what her problem was. But then I got a transfer to a very, very good teacher. I'm not going to say any names. Like, even if I have nothing but good things to say, she was a very good teacher. And that's where I met old Fussy Russie there.
Yeah, I remember him coming in there, and our teacher asked, like, I guess she picked me to like welcome you in,
Yeah.
and
I
first thing
didn't expect a kiss on the mouth like immediately, but that's what I got, and I was like, this is a very like the people here are nice.
Oh my God. Russ, turn your phone off.
But yeah, so that's that story. We got a little bit sidetracked immediately.
That's all right.
Yeah,
what about DC?
The first thing out of my mouth was
Your tongue?
So how about the Spider-Man? And I was like, yeah, Spider-Man.
And I just to like put a bookend on this little story. Like I remember us getting paired up into a group to like do like a reading aloud thing.
Yeah.
And I would read the voices like in the voice of Venom. But and we ran into this guy named Ivan.
Yep.
And Ivan claimed to have all the cheat codes to the Spider-Man video game.
He was internet trolls before there were internet trolls.
It did. He was a legitimate troll.
Yeah. He claimed that you can play as like the Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, all these villains on the Spider-Man PS1 game.
Mm.
And he's like, yeah, there's codes for it.
Which was my fantasy.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess as for DC, there's a lot of really good heroes in DC.
I have a feeling I know who you'll pick, but
You're
don't
probably right. I'm considering it.
I have a feeling,
yeah, Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'm gotta go with Green Lantern.
I have a feeling we're all three going to pick the same hero, but
You know what? Can I go anti-hero?
Sure, why not?
I gotta say, recently I've really liked Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah.
Her New 52 series.
Yeah, the New 52 Harley Quinn has been amazing. And for villain, gotta go with Captain Strong, baby. Captain Horatio Strong. In like the 50,000 years that DC's been around, he only shows up in like 5 issues of DC anything. Okay.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
For villain, I gotta go Joker.
Yeah.
I gotta go with the Joker. So it's kind of weird. Harlequin and the Joker are my 2 favorites in DC, I guess.
The Joker.
Mr. Haha.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Mr. Haha.
The Red Hood. Okay, Dylan. You give us give us yours.
Give us the inside scoop.
All right. DC is probably super generic, but Batman for hero and Joker for villain.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. Batman, yeah, he's just the most interesting to me.
Yeah, you're right.
He is.
And
I mean,
not even
go ahead.
Not even like fanboy talk about Batman. I think he really is the most interesting character in DC.
I don't know if you've read any of the New 52 stuff, but I mean, it is really, really good.
God, the New 52 Batman, it's so good.
Yeah,
Robert and I
definitely check that out.
Robert and I went on a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? A tangent.
Went on a rampage.
Went on
A rampage.
a rampage about how much we love the New 52 Batman.
Yeah, and then you had
Don't
me
blame
get you had me get like 4 or 5 Batman comics that night.
Yeah, one of them was the New 52.
Yeah, I
mean,
need to start that, but it's really good from what I've seen.
I'm not fully caught up on it, but I'm pretty good ways into it, and I really love it. Scott Snyder has a really good way of.
Yeah, D. Snyder,
picking
his music talents surpass all others.
It's great.
His stories make me want to rock.
And Joker, of course, you know you can't not like the Joker, so
Yeah,
you kind of have to pick him.
What I really like about specifically Joker, Batman, and the New 52 stuff or whatever, the Joker can be whatever you want him to be, and he will still be the Joker.
Right.
Yeah.
He can be like the silliest character ever, and he doesn't have to do anything violent. He can just be silly, and he'll still be the Joker.
Right.
Yeah, they have a really good way of.
Or he can
handling that.
Or he can just straight up say he's gonna cut your face off, and then not laugh about it at all, and he'll still be the Joker.
I guess moving on, probably. I don't know. Marvel is hard for me because I'm not a huge Marvel fan. I would probably have to go with Captain America for hero.
I knew it. I freaking.
Yeah. Either Captain America or Iron Man. But yeah, probably Captain America. I don't know about villain. Yeah, I don't know about villain. Gosh.
You could say Dr. Croctopus.
I could.
You could say the Lizard.
The Lizard.
You can say that red Nazi.
Red
I don't know. I don't know if I can pick one. I do like a bunch of them, but I just don't.
You're just gonna.
I don't know if I have a favorite.
Well, we're not moving on until you answer.
All right, I'll go with Venom. I think Venom's pretty cool.
No.
Yeah, Venom's pretty good.
Which Venom?
The Spider-Man 3 Venom.
Oh.
Yeah, the Eric Foreman Venom.
Yeah, Eric Foreman has Venom.
The only way to truly beat that Venom is to get rid of him. But so we have
to kill Spider-Man. Shut up, dumbass.
Come on, Spider-Man.
We have two picks for the Joker and two symbiote picks.
Oh yeah.
So,
They're good.
They're good guys.
They're good guys.
So I'm gonna go now. Let's see. I'll start with DC, and like I really don't want to say Batman, just because like okay, I would say Batman is my favorite DC superhero, and probably.
You don't want to say Batman, so you're gonna say Aqualad.
Yeah,
actually,
Aqualad hype.
I was gonna say Batman, but just on a side note, I do want to really say that I really like the Green Lantern, not the Ryan Reynolds movie. I really like the Flash, and like Etrigan the Demon is one of my favorite superheroes in the DC universe.
I haven't read much, but I really like keep it going. Starfire. That's the name.
Starfire. Yeah.
The new Starfire comic.
Pretty...
The new Starfire comic. It's written by the same people that did Harlequin, so it has like the same sense of humor. And it's really good. I really recommend Starfire.
You know what I'm liking of the new 52 is Superman, actually.
Really?
Like, I could never really... I couldn't get into Superman before the new 52, because he was... You know, he's so overpowered and everything.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, what's the point of reading it? Because he's just going to win in the end.
Yeah,
I mean, it's usually how it goes.
Way too strong, too many powers, one-dimensional. He's like, justice and good, and like, that's all he is.
Kind of like Captain America.
Kind of like Captain America.
But
a little bit.
I think that's probably why I'm not a Captain America fan either.
I want to say that I like Superman on like a, you know, hey, it's Superman kind of level. But I enjoy a lot of his villains.
Yeah,
he's got really good villains.
I'm like, to me, Superman, I'm like, he can get on the bus, but he has to sit in the back.
Superman,
Robert.
I think the reason I like Superman's villains is because the writers have basically been put in a corner, and it was like, well, how do we make somebody that can actually be a threat? And but anyway, for villain, it was really hard not to pick the Joker. I'm not picking the Joker. I'm also not picking Darkseid, who was my big number 2.
Darkseid Phil.
Yeah, it's a good villain.
He's the best villain.
Yeah,
another runner-up would be the Reverse Flash.
Yeah, he runs real slow.
But
who's the winner?
It is the tortoise and the hare. No, I gotta go with the Scarecrow.
Really?
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a different answer.
Yeah.
The Scarecrow, I feel like, okay, much how Joker has him and Batman are two sides of the same coin. But if you really think about it, the opposite of Batman would be Scarecrow. Because Batman's main weapon against the scum of Gotham is fear.
Yeah. That is actually true.
So, Scarecrow,
Batman is a domestic terrorist.
Yes. Scarecrow is one of the most, frightening looking villains, depending on, how he's drawn.
Yeah, depending on, where he is, what he's doing.
And, I think, he has one of the more interesting, every Batman villain has their shtick, it's...
Right.
Oh, Two-Face has a coin, Riddler asks me questions, Penguin has an umbrella, Joker's just madness. Well, Scarecrow's got some fear toxin.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably one of the more interesting tools that the Batman
He's
villains
got the
actually
spook.
use.
He's
Yeah.
got the spook gas.
And I mean, like, I think while I do own a lot of, and just to like tie in here, Scarecrow in the New 52 was very well done. I don't know if you guys have read anything. He wasn't in the main Batman series, but he was in Detective Comics.
Oh, was
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
he-
really good.
He was done very well.
How is Detective Comics? Because I haven't read any of them.
It's
I
not
like
as,
it.
It's not as good as Batman,
Mhm.
but like I feel like it's good. It's
What
good.
Is Batman?
Like the title says.
Is Soul Batman involved?
Yeah, it's a Batman book, but
And like the title says, it's more like a detective-oriented.
Well, yeah, I really like Detective Batman.
Yeah.
and I feel like Detective Comics is where they throw out more of his like regular rogues gallery, because so far in Scott Snyder's Batman run, like the first two story arcs were the Court of Owls, who were completely new and were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you
the
had
best stuff ever.
Then you had Joker in Death of the Family, and Riddler, Two-Face, and Penguin were in that storyline.
Yeah.
But, like, they got beat up in a panel, and that was about it. So, but, like, yeah. It seems like Batman, the book, is more story-driven, and, Detective Comics is like it has the detective story, but it's also more. It feels more comic booky to me.
Oh.
Yeah, it definitely has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, the Batman standalone, whatever you want to call it, D. Snyder stories.
Yes.
They seem more like a movie.
Yeah.
That Court of Owls, though.
Court of
Oh.
Owls.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
If they do a solo Batman movie, that's what I want. I want the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
I said it before, I need a R-rated Death of the Family.
Oh, could you imagine that?
That's what I want.
That'd be
Like,
crazy.
I would just adapt Scott Snyder's writing. Just like
Let him write the movie.
Yeah.
Do the Court of Owls movie, and then the next Batman movie can be Death of the Family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was some really good, like, twists and whatnot in Court of Owls.
Oh
Mhm.
gosh!
Like, towards the end, that was some
Like
really
I feel
good
like
stuff.
it's been out long enough now that I'm not gonna like throw up a spoiler warning or anything.
Yeah,
because-
but if you are reading it late, don't listen to this.
Just spoilers ahead. Like the fact that like is that Bruce Wayne's brother?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like they say it isn't, but they also leave it like very ambiguous.
The story
at the end.
checks out.
Yeah, it never
Yeah.
really confirms it.
What I really like about that is like he was playing up like in the older comics. There was an alternate universe with the crime syndicate, where the Justice League were the bad guys,
Uh-huh.
and the evil version of Batman in that universe was Owlman.
Oh.
So they're kind of playing up the fact that, like, you know, Owlman is Batman. So
Well, yeah, and just like the fact that I'm surprised that they never did it earlier about how owls are natural predators to bats.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
that they never really did anything with that until recently.
And it was
Right.
done really, really well. I'm glad they kind of implemented that.
it was so good. And, like, it wasn't one of those comic book storylines where you're like, oh, this is just some comic book bullshit. No.
Mhm.
That storyline, I believed every word I said. I was like, oh my gosh, this freaking Court of Owls has been around for hundreds
Yeah.
of years.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because they we haven't mentioned it, about how the Court of Owls has like a little lair in the 13th floor of every Wayne building.
Yeah.
Right.
Because no one uses the 13th floor.
Right.
And that's also a real life thing, so that's believable.
And they did loosely adapt the Court of Owls storyline in the what was it called, Batman versus Robin?
Yeah.
And movie. Yeah, I didn't like the stuff they changed, but I was just glad to see the Court of Owls actually in a movie. But like they messed up Talon pretty bad. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one. I know I've seen Son of Batman or whatever that one was called.
This is the sequel to that.
Oh, okay.
And then like the next one coming out is the third one.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So Scarecrow. Scarecrow was my villain pick for DC. So Marvel, I have juggled with this dilemma my whole life because there's two superheroes in the Marvel universe that I've always loved about equally, and like I love Spider-Man's stories. Like Spider-Man is one of my all-time favorites. I love how he's a wisecracker, and like he's always had really interesting stories. He has, I'd say, other than Batman, has the best rogues gallery in comics. But my pick for favorite Marvel villain is the Incredible Hulk.
Ooh.
Villain.
I meant hero.
You know what? I'm changing my hero. I'm picking Spider-Man.
I'm changing mine. I'm changing it to Spider-Gwen.
Oh.
I haven't read anything past issue 1 of Spider-Gwen, and also the alternate universe series where they did like a new universe every book. But I really liked Spider-Gwen, but I don't know a whole lot about her.
Yeah.
Right. So my pick's the Hulk. Like, I guess I've just, I don't know. I just like for some reason the Hulk has always resonated with me, and
is it because you both get fussy sometimes?
I think it genuinely might be.
You can identify with the fussy.
I would say I don't turn big and green.
You kind of do.
Hulk doesn't really have the lasting rogues gallery as a lot of other villains. I mean, like other than
pulverizes them.
Other than the leader and the Abomination, no one really knows other Hulk.
What about Wendigo?
Well, Wendigo is kind of an X-Men thing, but
well, yeah, the Hulk like premiered in a Wendigo comic.
No.
Yeah, he did.
A Wendigo.
Oh wait, no. The first appearance of Wolverine was in a Wendigo.
Yes.
I got him mixed up. My mistake.
Robert, go to hell.
Hey, you can tell I know comic books because I fixed it myself.
Yeah. Anyway.
Edit that part out. Edit.
So my favorite Marvel villain is a no-brainer, and that is the Hobgoblin.
The Hobgoblin?
The
Green Goblin.
I can't believe it.
The Hobgoblin is better than the Green Goblin.
Did you read his self-help book?
Yeah. if Dylan's laughing, but Hobgoblin actually wrote a self-help book.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Yeah.
There was a storyline a couple years ago called Axis, where a bunch of villains, something happened in their brain to where they turned into good guys. And instead of because one of the things the Hobgoblin did on the side was he would rent out supervillain costumes to like D-list supervillains
Yeah.
and make money off of them. Well, when the Axis thing happened, he changed it to where it was D-list superheroes, and he had like a self-help seminar, and he wrote this book that had a foreword by Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
All right, I need to see this.
It's a 3-issue miniseries called Access Hobgoblin.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
But okay, back to like villainous Hobgoblin. The Hobgoblin was so great for, I'll break it down in 3 reasons. Number 1, his costume.
A lot of orange.
Green Goblin was cool and all, but he didn't have that cool cowl and cape.
Yeah, why wasn't he called the Orange Goblin?
Because I think that sounds dumb.
You know they may have considered Orange Goblin.
They had to.
Well, I mean, if they have the frickin' Gray Goblin, then yeah.
Yep. They have the Demo Goblin.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother episode. But number 2 is that he improved the Green Goblin's formula to A, it made him stronger, and B, it didn't make him go insane.
Back the formula.
And finally, because the Hobgoblin, the entire story arc was the best mystery in the history of comic books.
Ooh.
It lasted like 15 years. But anyway, yeah, he's always been my favorite ever since the Spider-Man cartoon. Then when I got into comics, I realized he's even better than he was on the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a good fellow.
The sad part is half the people like don't even remember him when, like, in the 80s, the Green Goblin was dead, and the Hobgoblin was Spider-Man's arch enemy. Like before, but it was like before Venom, but after the Green Goblin, Hobgoblin was Spider-Man's arch enemy for the 80s.
Yeah.
So,
Hello?
yeah?
I thought the call dropped.
Yeah, I did too.
No, I'm still here.
Oh. Well, we're...
Okay.
Okay.
So does that wrap us up, or do we have anything else?
I don't know. There might be something.
There might be something. Let me look in here real quick. I'll find out.
Look in your little folder of ideas.
We can talk about. I mean, we can talk about storylines. We can talk about whatever you want.
Storylines. We talked a little bit about some storylines, but
Yeah.
Since we already like completely dissected the Court of Owls, we won't go into that. But
I don't
Also-
know. Like, I would go into like the current Harley Quinn storyline, but I don't think anyone else has read it.
yeah, I haven't read it.
Yeah, so I won't go into that since it is very new.
Well, okay,
Something.
let's talk about this real quick. What are some of your favorite comic book characters that are not Marvel and DC?
Not Marvel or DC.
Yeah. For me, like, I've always been a big Spawn fan.
Uh-huh.
I like Spawn. I like Judge Dredd. I own some of his trade paperbacks. Hellboy is
Heck lad.
it's one of the best. Like, I sat down recently and like rewatched the 2 Hellboy movies, and by God, those 2 movies are like some of the best comic book movies ever made.
I think the first one is actually on Netflix. If anyone wants to check it out.
That's where I watched it.
Yeah. Is the second one on Netflix?
No, it is not.
Ah.
But you can get it on Blu-ray at Amazon for $6.
Well, all right then.
Can I talk about Japanese mangoes?
Yeah, that is technically comic books.
Well,
there we go.
I'll get manga if someone actually thought I was talking about mangoes from Japan.
Oh, we're not talking about mangoes?
No, we're not. Well, I always, like, ever since I can remember starting reading that stuff, my favorite character ever, really, has been Light Yagami from Death Note.
Oh, that's an interesting pick.
Because, and there's a good reason, it's because of how smart the show was, the manga and the show was written.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually when you watch a show for the first time, you don't catch plot holes, you don't catch the dumb writing, you don't catch all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm going to go through this again, and I'm going to carefully, like, analyze it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I rewatched Death Note, and I couldn't find a thing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's really, really smart.
That is a solid, smartly written show, and Light Yagami is an evil genius.
Mm-hmm.
Light Yagami is...
I think Russ is having some technical difficulties.
He might be having some internet trouble again.
Oh, don't tell me that.
What were you saying?
I said Light Yagami was one of the most evil characters I've ever known.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. He is legitimately a horrible person. Everything that a villain can do to make you hate him, he's done it.
Yeah.
And, like, he starts out as the quote-unquote good guy.
Yeah, he was just like a hard-working school kid who got caught in a bad crowd.
You could say that.
Yeah, except that crowd was a book that if you write anyone's name in it, they die.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me think we need to maybe do an actual manga anime video soon.
Oh yeah, discussion talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We have a good old discussion talk about it.
Yeah, so we won't go into too much detail about them right now, but coming soon.
But just to wrap up what I was talking about, my favorite comic book company that's not, well, it might be my favorite comic book company is Valiant, which we talked about a little bit.
We talked about that stuff for like almost an hour.
Was it? I thought it was only just a small segment of a longer discussion, but
I don't know. I think maybe it was about 20-30 minutes. I could be wrong though.
Oh, all right. Well, then I won't go into it. But
well,
Valiant,
I mean, I'm not telling you not to, but yeah.
If you haven't read Valiant, go read Valiant.
That is right. What is it? Quantum and Woody.
Quantum and Woody.
Highly recommend Quantum and Woody.
I recommend Rye.
How you spell that?
R-A-I.
Okay, I was thinking more like the bread, but okay.
Like, Valiant is the only comic company I've read where every series that I've read a comic of, I have genuinely enjoyed.
Who's your favorite in that series, Rye or Pumpernickel?
Don't you have a paper to write?
No, I got it turned in on Sunday. I was really stressed out about it, actually.
Is that the stuff you've been going through?
Yeah, I've been going through a lot of stuff lately, so leave me alone. Don't put off doing your college homework, kids. Because I did on Sunday, and boy, oh boy. Sunday was the due date, and I started it on Sunday.
Oh, Robert.
Enough school talk.
Enough of you setting a bad example.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Enough of the school talk. We know for a fact Light Yagami's the best character of all time.
That's probably debatable.
No.
So if Light Yagami writes down the Hulk in the Death Note, would that kill him? would it not work because he didn't write down Bruce Banner?
I don't think it would work. That's more of an alias.
He's got to write down Bruce Banner.
And even like I'm gonna stretch this out a little bit further about Death Note, because it's another thing I remembered. They introduce new rules and constantly remind you about the old rules of the Death Note, like through the series.
Yeah.
And never once is like something happens when they're using the Death Note. If you look at how people use the Death Note, they never ever break the rules. And when a rule is broken, the story is sure to say, "Hey, that's against the rules." And I really wish that Akira Toriyama did the same thing.
Akira Toriyama, he just makes it up as he goes.
Yeah, he totally does.
And completely forgets about characters that he has written.
Why did he have to forget about Launch? She was so cool.
I know.
Oh, we're talking about anime now.
Yeah, like I said, we'll do an entire episode.
I gotta stop talking about the Japanese mangoes and animus.
No, you're alright.
No, I'm never talking about them again. I've learned my lesson.
Is there any storylines, comic book storylines you'd like to talk about?
Like I said, I'm not going to go into it, but they don't really have story arcs, but the current story of Harlequin is really good.
Yeah.
I want to say that it just ended this month. It started back in May of last year. But Secret Wars is one of the best.
Secret Wars is one of the best things Marvel has ever done.
Yeah, from the stuff that I've read, I haven't finished it. I still plan on it, but everything that I've read from the Secret Wars has been fantastic.
And just a side note here, like Robert and I mean Dylan probably could too if like you screen share and read it at the same time. But like,
oh yeah,
we're gonna start covering new release comic books. We're not gonna cover everything because I can't afford that.
Yeah,
but,
it's pretty much impossible to stay up to date on everything new because they put out like 20, and if you count Marvel, DC, and whatever other big company, there's like 50 or so comics that come out every Wednesday.
Right.
It's a lot of comics.
Sadly, for right now, we won't be covering any DC comics because DC's print books don't include a digital copy.
Oh.
And that's how we do this. So,
DC, if you're listening, you want to be on our show, you gotta start playing ball.
Now
I'm sure there's a way around it. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
You can trust me on that one. Wink.
I bought literally I'm gonna call it the starting pack, and it's a lot of the titles that are in Marvel's new brand of all take place after Secret Wars.
Oh.
So we have plenty to talk about, and I'm going to weed out like what I don't like, because I promise you we are not going to cover every single comic book.
Yes, we will.
We're only going to do the ones we like.
No, I'm going to do the ones that I hate specifically.
And don't think we don't know how to weed them out.
I'd be like, hey, look at this. Isn't this stupid?
So, Dylan, is there any storylines that you can think of that you'd like to talk about?
Yeah.
I know you were one of like the biggest supporters of the New 52.
I do love the New 52, but
after you, I do have a storyline that I would like to say. So
okay,
you keep going.
Mine's not actually from the New 52 though. It's the Injustice series based off of the video game.
Oh yeah.
I think it starts.
Oh no.
I think it begins 5 years before the actual game, and each volume of it leads up to the game. And there's a lot of interesting things in that.
What's a game?
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have read it or not, but definitely check it out.
I haven't. I did see it whenever I went to like a comic shop. I would see it's there, and I'm like, oh yeah, hey, video games.
Yeah, it's pretty good though.
Okay, Robert.
Oh, one that came to mind just a little bit ago was Deadpool versus Deadpool. And that was the multiverse of Deadpools all in one, like, I think it was 8 comic miniseries.
Oh wow.
And there's one evil Deadpool killing all of the Deadpools. And so it's like this big team of good Deadpools versus a team of bad Deadpools.
Yeah.
And there was a Deadpool version of pretty much every Marvel character you can think of.
Oh my god.
So yeah, there was, and the classics were there, like the Deadpool Corps with Lady Deadpool, regular Deadpool, the main original Deadpool. And there was Headpool. He was the Marvel Zombies Deadpool that got decapitated and joined their team. Kidpool. He's Deadpool but a little kid. And there was Dogpool. And yeah,
Dogpool.
you know who Dogpool is. He's a dog. And I believe it was from Deadpool versus Deadpool. Oh no, it was from the Deadpool Corps series. But there was, I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but there was a scene where Dogpool rescued the rest of the Deadpool Corps.
Yeah.
And Deadpool was like, and Dogpool's gotten like shot and stuff on the way in, and he like laid down, and original Deadpool like got on his knees. He's like, "Are you okay, boy? Say something." And basically the joke was dogs can't talk.
There's a Deadpool like mini series going on right now. I haven't read any of it yet, but the title alone makes me giggle because much like everything that Deadpool says, it's a pop culture reference. Let's see if you get this one. Deadpool, the mercs for more money.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, Spaceballs. But like I was saying, with Deadpool versus Deadpool, it gets to the point of where there's this war, a war of like thousands of variations of different Deadpools. And it was like there was a Panda Pool. That was the Deadpool Panda.
Oh.
There was Deadpool, and it was every letter was capitalized, and there was a period between each letter, so you can guess who that was. There was what was it? Galactus? But Deadpool?
Galactipool?
Galactipool, that was his name, yeah. I was trying to remember his name. And he was just as big as Galactus. But he was a giant Deadpool. Oh, and it was ridiculous and hilarious. And I actually sent you a screenshot of around the end when he was doing wrestling references. I think you may remember it.
Oh God. Yes.
Yeah, because he was talking about faces versus heels.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Oh, God, that character. I don't know if we talked about it on the last episode, because we did talk about Deadpool in the last one, because we were talking about the movie.
Yeah.
But the first time, okay, I'll say the second time, because the first time he was just talking to the audience, but the second time that Deadpool broke the fourth wall, it's because he gave a character a Shoryuken.
Oh, yeah, I think you actually did mention that. Yeah.
And thankfully, in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they gave him the Shoryuken.
Shoryuken!
They also gave him one of his supers was he grabbed his health bar and beat you to death with it.
Oh, that's a silly guy right there.
Well, I'll talk about a few storylines that have resonated with me. I won't go into the whole Hobgoblin thing because I want to save that for an actual episode.
Yeah, with the self-help books.
Yeah. I mean that will be in that will be in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, sure.
There was a there's actually two, but it's been so long since I've read the first one, and it's a better one that I don't want to talk about it until I reread it. But there was a Hulk storyline in the early '90s called Countdown.
Uh-huh.
And this villain by the name of Madman, who Robert might remember from the Hulk game.
Which one?
The movie, the 2000, the one with the Banner infiltration.
Yeah, and the one with the awesome one-hit kills cheat codes.
Yeah. Well, there's a villain called Madman.
Uh-huh.
And Madman has infected the Hulk with this, I guess, a poison type.
That absolute madman.
And the Hulk has, I think it's, I can't remember if it's days or hours, but when he turns back into Bruce Banner, he will die.
Oh, he's got to stay mad.
I mean, and he's gonna revert back to himself no matter what at the end of this time frame.
Uh-huh.
So he's basically the first person he runs into, as soon as he gets infected, is the Abomination.
Well.
So he has one of his classic battles with the Abomination, but he ends up melting off the Abomination's face.
How'd he do that?
With this really hot stuff.
Oh, hot stuff.
So he's like, I gotta figure out who can help me. So he immediately wants to go to Reed Richards, because Reed Richards is, the smartest guy in the Marvel Universe, basically.
Yeah, he's the science guy.
But he runs into...
this is off topic, but it is Reed Richards. Remember when he was working with 10 of himself?
Yes.
That was weird. Okay,
Yeah.
Back on topic.
So the Hulk tries to track down Reed Richards, but runs into the Thing. And the Thing has a beef with the Hulk, so they fight. And Hulk's like, I ain't got time for this. And he finally tells him, it's a, you wouldn't expect this from especially between the Hulk and the Thing, but the Hulk tells him what's happening, and Thing gets sad, because even though they fight all the time, they're still friends at the end of the day.
Aww.
And so Reed Richards is like, I can't help you. So the Hulk only has one last hope, and that's the leader.
Yeah. I knew it was going there.
The leader has, he goes to the leader, and the leader is like, I'll help you, but I want something in return.
A smooch.
And he's like, you have to kill Madman. And it was like, well, why do you want Madman dead? And blah, 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 blah. Well, you find out that Madman is the leader's brother. And
Mad Max is the leader's brother.
Yeah, Mad Max.
Oh, yeah.
Go get the gas town.
So yeah, there's that one. And
Oh, also, speaking of Mad Max and comic books, there's some Mad Max comic books that expand on Fury Road that are actually written by the Mad Max writer fella.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there's one that goes into Immortan Joe's backstory, and there's another one that goes into Furiosa's backstory, and they're both amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, check those out.
By the way, Mad Max Fury Road was like probably the best movie that came out last year.
Yeah, definitely best. Well, it had to have been like one of the best movies that came out in like the past 10 years.
That's what a lot of people are saying, that it was definitely the best of 2015.
It was so good.
Fury Road was, I would say, was the best action movie I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I got to see that in theaters, and that was so amazing to watch.
Yeah, I do think that was the best movie. Like that movie blew me away. But I think nostalgia. I liked Star Wars more.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, they
man,
were both really good.
anything else?
I can't think of anything, boss.
You want to talk about the time Thor turned into a frog?
You want to talk about time Captain Ginyu turned into a frog? Okay, Frog Thor versus Frog Ginyu. Who would win?
Ginyu.
Yeah. No, actually, because Ginyu didn't have any powers and Thor still had Mjolnir. So,
I believe it's pronounced Majoindeberber.
Yeah, but Russ, think about it. They could just switch bodies, and would that mean that Ginyu could then use Mjolnir?
I mentioned it before in our little Facebook group.
Mhm.
Is purple horned guy Ginyu that we see at the beginning of Ginyu, is that his original body?
No, because he states it isn't.
Oh, he does?
What? When?
I'm pretty positive he does.
Really?
Your mom?
I've seen that like 50 billion times. I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure he says it.
Check the tapes, Dylan.
I'm looking right now. I'm looking it up.
Alright, yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna search it right now. Beep boop boop boop. Nope. I'm afraid not, Dylan.
We've also talked about like why did he never change bodies with Frieza, and it comes down to I think that he was just so loyal.
Yeah. Yeah, because like it shows just how loyal he is to Freezer.
Freezer.
Yeah.
You and your pronunciations, get out of here.
Yeah, I don't think that's his original form, because stealing bodies is what he does.
Yeah, exactly. He was
I mean,
so happy to just ruin his body.
Yeah, just to get a stronger one. So yeah, there's no way that that's his original.
Captain Ginyu was originally Mark Henry.
Oh, Mark Henry? The world's strongest man.
The world's strongest puta. I mean,
So, are you implying that the current Mark Henry is...
he's sexual, baby.
And I think that's a wrap.
Wait, we still have 30 seconds before we hit an hour.
Okay, let's
Let's fill in the time. Let's fill in that time.
as always, like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe for more Let's Plays.
Prepare yourselves. You're going back.
Back to the Future?
Wow.
Marty! What was your favorite scene in Back to the Future?